had the automatic bid winning the West Coast Conference, and North Carolina stepping on the floor after an impressive performance through the regular season, finishing 27-7, 13-5 in ACC. As we get things going, Carolina in their home white and Oregon State in their away black jerseys. Mike Forsberg, Kenneth Nash, and Scott Osborne, the officials for today, as Lexi Donarski up top pulls up for the first shot and off the mark. So let's take a look at today's starting lineups presented by Capital One. Here is Oregon State's, and how about all 5 starters are averaging career highs this season?
Their coach talked about they were role players at their former institutions, and now having to come out and all get it done, be the superstars individually, and they're finally seeing it come together.
They've won 10 of their last 12 games after starting 1-5, and they put points on the board first. You got your starting lineups presented by Capital One for the Tar Heels as well. We mentioned Alyssa Usby in her 5th year, Lexi Donarski also in her 5th year, and a couple of transfers as well, Maria Gockwing being one of them in her 2nd year as a transfer, and Coach Banghart talked about the importance of that and the growth she's seen in her.
They gained 15 pounds and muscles, so she's got some strength. Her able to finish a lot better at the rim.
Immediately, Alyssa Usby with the deep seal and the bucket.
I mean, Alyssa Usby is a mismatch nightmare. No matter where she is on the floor, her ability to score, defend multiple positions.
The tip by Usby. She's trying to run out front. Indy Navarre says, I'm on the board. Not quite. Clean up by Usby.
I mean, we've seen her game all just in these few possessions. Everything that she can do, defend, rebound, score. I know Papa Usby is so happy to see her get going early on.
Yeah, her father Todd came to us, and he's already in his jersey. I feel like he's got some time left for himself. But he mentioned just being so proud of his daughter and everything that she's been able to do this season and throughout her career here at North Carolina.
He made sure we knew it too. He said he's going to go back and watch this thing and make sure we hit on all things Usby, as she's done, as you said, some great things in her career here at North Carolina.
How about Renaya Kelly in her 2nd season, knocking that one down? The super sophomore on the board.
This is another player that we've talked about in terms of her growth from last season to this season. I mean, she's gotten her body right, dealt with some injuries, so mentally she's more confident coming into this one, a calming factor offensively for UNC.
India Navarre commits the first foul of the ball game. Second straight appearance for Oregon State here in the tournament. As we mentioned, the 5th consecutive for North Carolina, looking to get those 2 wins, can advance to the Sweet 16 in Birmingham. That'll be their 19th appearance in the regional semifinal game. Kennedy Schuler up top. A reset shot clock. 6 on the shot clock. Off the bounce, held up by India Navarre. As Tiara Bolden knocks it down.
And that's just how you have that patience. This Carolina defense is very tough to go up against. They want to keep you out the paint, keep Oregon State out the paint, but that's a good move.
We saw a lot of defense from West Virginia. They forced 11 turnovers against Columbia in the first quarter, and their season high as well. But if you want to talk about defense for North Carolina as well, last year they allowed 62.5 points per game. This year, 58.
This isn't a team like West Virginia that's going to generate a lot of steals. They play a great angles game. They're tough. Do a great job protecting the paint.
So Lexi Donarski charged with the foul there. Maria Gockwing picked up her first personal the play prior. So back-to-back fouls for the Tar Heels. So Kennedy Schuler, the sophomore out of Oregon, will step up to the free throw line, the West Coast Conference all-academic team. Who has struggled from the free throw line this season, and it doesn't look like to turn there. North Carolina losing to NC State in the ACC semis in the ACC tournament, which has been a battle throughout this season. Just up the road, how about Duke, NC State, and North Carolina all hosting?
Lots going on here in North Carolina in the triangle.
Navarre pulls it out. Kelly trying to go against that length. Rock standing at 6'1". And there's that beaver wall we talked about earlier.
Exactly, that beaver wall. They're doing a great job just running them right into the size, the trees that comes in that second layer of defense.
Bit of a scoring drought for both squads. Schuler off the bounce, sends it to Reese. Reese can't connect. So a foul will be committed against Oregon State as we have a foul against Usby. North Carolina will get it back. We'll be back here in Chapel Hill as we're just underway against North Carolina.
Absolutely. We talked about that beaver wall. In that championship game, they held Portland to 46 points, a season low by 19. I mean, you talk about the defense, the prowess they came with, and all that they've lost. 82% in points. You see the rebounds, the assists there, and just to give you a bigger picture, they lost to Leavon Olhoffen, who's now at USC, to Mia Gardner, who's coming off the bench, lights out from 3 at UCLA, and then, of course, Reagan Beers, who is just a menace in the post. She's at Oklahoma, so lots of pieces lost there, but they're now finding their new identity, and that's why they're here.
North Carolina here as well as Mary Gochdang is able to get an opportunity here, the fight off the glass. That's what Coach was telling you earlier about the difference between last year.
That's 15 pounds of muscle right there for you, okay? Her ability to finish on both sides of the basket, left and right, so it doesn't matter.
Connects and completes the three-point play. Sela Heidi charged with the foul. Going back to Oregon State, you mentioned the amount of power that they lost from their roster, losing 8 players to the transfer portal due to the realignment. So you mentioned they started the season 1-5 as they're able to connect there. But also, Coach was telling us we had to figure out who we were. Like, what is this team? We're in a different conference. We're now in a mid-major conference after being in the Pac-12, the last 2 teams that were left of the Pac-12. And he said, not only do we have to figure out who we were in the conference, we have to realize who we were as a team. And he said a lot of these players were never go-to players within the program, and now the confidence that they have has gone through the roof.
And that's tough, tougher than people actually think, to be a role player and then have to step up and have that confidence, have that mindset to go and score. I mean, people don't understand how challenging it is to adapt to that new role.
But Scott Rueck, one of the best to ever do it in his 15th season at Oregon State, has also been to the Final Four back in 2016. You can see Coach on the sidelines has done a remarkable job in his tenure. It was really cool to just reminisce and just talk about the Pac-12 days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's such a shame that we don't have any more Pac-12 basketball, but when you reminisce on those days, how challenging, how much of a gauntlet that conference was, the rivalries that took place.
North Carolina holding it down here at home, 11-7 edge they have as we're approaching the 3-minute mark in the first quarter. All but one starter has scored for North Carolina. And a travel called The 4th turnover for the Beavers.
It's great defense there, though, Alyssa Usby. I mean, the height difference there between she and Reese, and just still able to hold it down, force that travel.
She's got her about 4 inches. Up top, and again, Maria Gotting now with 5 points. Her family in attendance as well. It's been fun to share her story. After spending time at Boston College, finds the new home here at North Carolina. I remember last year talking with Courtney Banghart, who was in her 6th season with the Tar Heels, and she said, I wanted her to be everything different as far as the confidence, the understanding of just go and be you, the strength, as you mentioned. She said she was a little bit too nice. She said everyone calls her mama. Like, she is that type of person on this roster that everyone just gravitates towards, but needs to be a little bit more demanding on the inside.
Yeah, be nice off the court, nice personality, but on the inside, be a mean monster.
6 on the shot clock, and no good attempt there for Oregon State. Lexi Donarski showing the hops on that grab. Another touch from Maria, going at Reese again, and connects, Sela Heidi on the inside, and Maria Gotting feeling herself here in Chapel Hill. Well, the host team playing with some dominance. We're just underway in North Carolina with a 15-7 lead. Across Chapel Hill, Reynolds Coliseum in Raleigh, and Cameron Indoor Stadium at Duke. And we can't forget about the men's side as well, as the Lenovo Center has the #1 overall team. And I might have to say this slowly, the Duke Blue Devils.
Nice and slowly here. I mean, look at all these teams here, the Madison, the Triangle, 10 women's teams, 7 men's. I mean, this was a reason why all these hotels are sold out. I can barely find parking around here. The Starbucks line is extremely long, but lots of great action, lots of sports. Just a fun time to be here in North Carolina.
I wanted an upgrade, and I was like, oh, how many teams are here? Never mind. Not going to happen, but it's great to see so much, the buzz in the air, the feel of March Madness. We've both been a part of this type of environment, but to have 22 teams within that 25-mile radius, I think it's unheard of.
Unheard of, and you feel it everywhere. You go to these restaurants, you see it on the TVs, you see fans in different uniforms cheering on their respective squads. It's been so much fun.
And might I add, I have seen a lot of women's basketball at the bars and on television everywhere. It's like, we want to make sure that we're getting all the action for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we got to put emphasis on that. A lot of women's basketball that we've been seeing everywhere.
And we appreciate you joining us for today's action for Game 2 here at Chapel Hill. The Birmingham 2 Regional. So the winner of this pod will move on and advance to the Sweet 16. That'll be held in Birmingham. And the winner of this game will see West Virginia, who took down Columbia after a valiant effort. It was so cool to be on the call for their first win in the NCAA tournament. Absolutely.
So cool to be on the call. Great storylines we've had here so far in Chapel Hill.
Lexi Donarski can't connect on that 3. North Carolina has hit 256 threes this season, the most in Courtney Banghart's era here, but have not been able to connect today. 0 for 3 to start.
But they have dominated 12-4 in the paint. It's where they've been getting their money's worth against the size of Oregon State, so that's been impressive.
Kelsey Reese asked for it back after getting the rebound and can't send that one in. So Oregon State shooting 27% from the field. And North Carolina behind Usby and Maria Gotting on the glass. A lot of contact underneath, and it looks like Kelsey Reese a little upset with the call there. So it's actually going to go against Maria Gotting, which is her second personal. India Navarre will check into the ball game. Less than a minute here in the first quarter. Only 7 points on the board as the final seconds here in the first 10 minutes of this game. A lot of action. Leslie Donarski. And a block. Actually, a foul will be called off the backdoor. Great movement by the Beavers. That'll get them to the free throw line.
And I love India Navarre frustrated at that call, but I love that her teammates gathered her and just told her, relax, it's going to be okay. Keep your head in it. That's a tough one from behind. I think maybe got her lower body, mid-body in there as she was going up.
So now Coach Banghart has 2 players, 2 starters actually, with 2 on the bench. India Navarre picking up her second, and Maria Gate the previous foul. So AJ Marat, first team all-conference, steps up to the free throw line. And they need points in this quarter. Knocks down the second as we have another substitution. Triana Crisp checking in for the Tar Heels, the junior. Also the transfer from Arizona State. Grace Townsend, the grad guard out of Richmond, actually spent 4 seasons there, has been impressive in her tenure here in North Carolina as she gets things going at the top of the key. Lainey Grant needs help, finds Usby, more movement, about 12 passes, and 1 too many as a shot clock violation with 0.5 on the game clock to end the first quarter.
And you credit Oregon State, that Beaver defense. The wall has moved from the inside to the outside as they had to keep whipping that thing around and couldn't find a shot off in time.
And that'll do it for the first 10 minutes here of the North Carolina and Oregon State matchup, as the Tar Heels were able to connect, shooting 40% from the field, and Oregon State looking to fine-tune some things offensively. And while we're talking about the campus, we can mention the last time that Oregon State was here at Carmichael Arena. Last met back in 2014. Oregon State won that game 70-55. UNC was ranked 6th in the nation at the time. And it's all about the family here for Scott Ruick, as he has a couple of those former players, now coaches on his staff. Devin Hunter had 16 rebounds in that game. How about Sydney Weiss, who had an incredible career in the WNBA. Eric Eli, also the director of player personnel. They have been together for 13 years. Devin Hunter has been with them for the 4th season. This is the first year for Sydney Weiss. But this is also the group that went to the Final Four.
I mean, incredible. And to hear Coach reminisce about those days, see how happy he was. And how about Sydney Weiss? I wasn't recognized without the headband.
Very true. It was a gentle reminder, too, that Alicia Gray was here first with North Carolina. That is a part of her legacy, too, before she went on to join South Carolina and win a title with them as well, with her bestie, Asia Wilson, who you get confused with name-wise sometimes.
I don't mind, though. Listen, I take advantage of the confusion.
Oregon State turning up their defense as another miss mark at the rim for Donarski. Wanted the foul. Just a minute in here of the second quarter.
Talk about North Carolina's defense, holding them to single digits in that first quarter, shooting 27% in that quarter as well.
Off the glass, and you're seeing more of the offense as they're now in double figures. How about the North Carolina defense? The 25th time they've held an opponent to under 10 points in a quarter. Up and under, can't give enough to roll that one in. So after the Tar Heels started off shooting 50% from the floor, that has dropped drastically to 36. Both teams looking for a bucket.
Keep it down, and Schuler looking to get a post up. They're going to call 3 seconds. I know she's frustrated there because she has the clear height advantage there in the post over Grace Towson, who's 5'5". Schuler at 5'10". She was looking for the post up, and they missed her on that look.
The 6th turnover for Oregon State. How about the rivals for both spots just up the road in Durham, Oregon, getting the win. And Duke will also see them as well.
There's a lot going on here.
There's a lot going on. It's hard to keep up, but we're asked to do so. But it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's incredible. I mean, the madness is just all here in North Carolina alone.
In our little triangle, Oregon and Duke will face off on tomorrow as the 3-ball from the corner. And still, the drought. Could this end it? And yes! Kelsey Reese with the bucket.
And you credit Schuler just working, getting that offensive possession, and getting that good look in there to Reese for the finish.
Oregon State with the first 4 points of the second quarter. As the Tar Heels still looking for their first points on our way to the halfway point of this quarter. Pull up, good. A.J. Marat, averaging 11 points per game, drains it. Tar Heels have missed the last 8 shots. As Oregon State is on a 6-0 run and looking to build. Allie Schimmel. Extra pass to the corner, turned down to get a better look at the rim.
I love Lainey Grant's game. She's a phenom. I mean, there's just no ceiling for her as she has so much time, obviously, left in her career, but that was an outstanding move to the basket.
Do you know she won't turn 18 until April?
Crazy. Baby out there.
Reclassified to start early here with the Tar Heels, the freshman out of Virginia, getting some big minutes here for her first time in the big dance.
Have another look here at this bucket. Schuler with the rebound, saving it, giving it to Reese there under the basket. Just a great finish as Oregon State starts to gain some momentum on the offensive end, something that's looking good that they needed to see.
On this run, they make it a 1-possession game. Carolina up as many as 8 points. And they can tie or take the lead here. They scored the first bucket of the ball game and tie it here.
Ooh, that was a tough one by Schuler.
Kelly. And Renaya Kelly still looking to get going. She does have 2 points, 1 for 3 though from the field. Quick release by Marat, and she is lethal.
After single digits in the first quarter, Oregon State now building momentum, and it starts with Schuler. Big body, big bucket to the basket for the guard. Inside out attack balance. She gets it out, the kick out as they knock it down from 3. Oregon State gaining that momentum offensively.
Oregon State up 3 over North Carolina, and it's a different look for them in the second quarter. They only scored 9 in the first. What's been the difference?
The biggest difference, I mean, the patience, the poise. They've been able to get it inside, work their way inside out, finally just seeing some shots go through. And then you talk about their defense on the other end. North Carolina just at 2 points right now.
Well, Oregon State on a bit of a run, 13-2, but the mark of that is since Maria Gakdang went out of the game with the 2 fouls. They have been on a tear, specifically in the paint.
Exactly. That was the biggest difference, the paint points, where North Carolina dominated initially. So, I mean, as you said, that really credits to how much value Maria Gokdang, who's there on the bike, getting ready, getting them legs ready to get back in the game, but how valuable she is in the interior.
She had 7 points in 9 minutes. Unfortunately, picked up the 2 fouls in that span as well, but she has not missed a shot yet today. 3 ball off the mark. As Jordan Zupic in the game now for North Carolina. Battle on the floor, just mishandled it, so Kennedy Schuler was able to get a hand back on the ball, and so with the jump ball, they'll get it back.
Having a look at it. I love the pinch help there from India Navarre, helping her girl out in there and getting on the floor right after. Just great hustle, great defensive effort.
Renai Kelly was able to steal it and save it from going out of bounds. And a quick foul for Oregon State. So AJ Murat picks up her first personal. What a reaction for Renai Kelly.
Again, just a calming factor. Both ends of the floor, not just offense, but defensively as well.
Carolina gets on the board.
I mean, Coach talked about it. Biggest key emphasis, you're going up against size. How do you get that size moving? And Alyssa Usby just working
and it's
in the
been
post.
It's been a battle too. Estila Heidi and her, you mentioned the difference in height and stature. Usby trying to give everything she's got.
That's 6'1" against 6'8".
First foul against Usby and a quick pull-up. AJ Murat is feeling it in this game, and I don't know, can we smell another upset here at Carmichael Arena for Oregon State?
But I love that. That's the balance they want to see, getting it inside and out, and Murat, she's lit it up from 3 so far.
Usby almost was able to collect her own miss. Oregon State out rebounding North Carolina 18-12. Schuler almost got the scoop. And here comes Jordan. Dishes it off to Renai Kelly, and India Navarre thought she had a lane where it quickly closed. We're seeing a couple of defensive changes too for Oregon State. That'll change it. Lainey Grant knocking down the first triple, the second for North Carolina.
It'll be interesting to see how North Carolina will against that 2-3 zone.
Had it right the first time, just 1 for 7 from outside. And so when you do usually see a zone, it's because you're forcing them to take that outside shot. Well, coming up at halftime, Degree in the studio, the ladies on Juju and the Maryland on upset alert, as well as another call going in favor of North Carolina.
Yeah, I think they were calling a moving screen and the action there from Heidi in that baseline out of bounds play. It's a tough one.
That'll be her second foul as we are tied here at 22 with 2:22 left in the second quarter.
So Oregon State's still going to play in that zone.
And now you get a look at Maria Gokdang in the ball game for the Tar Heels. That changes that balance on the floor.
Yeah, but they're clearly going to prioritize protecting that paint, as that's been what North Carolina has absolutely dominated in early in this game.
Schuler putting on the moves on the glass. Why not? Shifty move by by Kennedy.
Schuler's on a mission, okay? She's trying to get to that paint. Circus shot there. That one was nice.
7 points for Kennedy Schuler between her and AJ Marat. Buckle up.
Now, if I am Oregon State, I want to attack Maria Gakdeng because get her in the foul trouble. She's playing in there with 2.
The dish and can't connect. Just off the mark for Reese. Lainey Grant tried to get it to the corner, and it's almost them turning down. Good looks for overpassing.
Yeah, that's the freshman overpassing, but I'll tell you who ain't overpassing it. Schuler getting to the rack, and I love the move there. Look at the finish. Off the glass, the bank is always your friend on any day. Look at the finish there, and the rotation on the ball. That was like one of those horse shots.
It's the eyes on the rim. The confidence in the move. Maria pulled down another rebound, her 3rd of the day. Less than a minute here in the first half. Quick pull up, good. Jordan Zubich now with 5 points. Excuse me, 2. Quick 3 up top, off the mark. And if she needed the help, the crowd saying, let it go. So just a 1-second difference between the game and shot clock, essentially holding for the last one.
But you saw Reese was upset there, so was Scott Ruick, because there was a little bit of contact, I thought, there on the shot. But they're just gonna have to hold steady, get this defensive stop.
Renaya getting instruction at the top of the key. Decides to go with 10. Pulls up. Bottom of the net. Takes the lead by 2. 3 seconds left for Schuler, who just missed from outside. So North Carolina regaining the lead, and they're happy to see Maria Gakdeng back on the floor as they go on a bit of a run. To McCamish Arena. Here, North Carolina with the 2-point Carmichael Arena, and North Carolina with the 2-point edge over Oregon State, but they have outscored the Tar Heels 15-11 in the second quarter. It's gone back and forth. It's been a seesaw effect from both of these teams, but what we do know is that Oregon State found a rhythm in the second quarter.
Oh, they found a rhythm, all right. It's been that tandem of Schuler and AJ Marat, but AJ Marat's been absolutely lights out. And we talk about the tandem, all of the assists, 5 of them coming from Schuler, but AJ Marat scoring inside and out. Something about that mid-range is money for her, but not even just that. She connected from outside as well, just so dynamic on the offensive end. But again, that tandem between them two has been outstanding.
Let's take a look at today's game track, brought to you by Invesco QQQ. AJ Marat has been incredible. 11 points. A season high for her first half, but it's more so what they've been able to do offensively. The 5 assists from Schuler. She has all of Oregon State's assists.
Exactly, and she has 7 points as well, and for her ability to be able to attack the rim, there was no stopping her when she was going downhill, so when the players started to cave in on her, she got those assists, able to kick out, find her players on the perimeter, I guess specifically Marat.
So North Carolina was able to get the lead off of a last-second bucket that they had on a possession to end the quarter. Maria Gakdeng, it's a different look for this offense when she is on the floor. There was a 6-0 run for Oregon State without her on the floor.
A huge difference, her presence, defense, and on the offensive end especially, as she made her presence felt in the paint.
A quick look for Lexi Donarski, and that has to feel good because they struggled from 3 in the first half.
And she's a lights out shooter from beyond the arc, so that's definitely a feel good moment for Donarski to see one in.
They were just 1 for 8 in the first half from long range. They hit about 7 threes per game. The response off the back iron, and Maria brings down the rebound. See how far off they're playing on India Navarre as Dinarski pulls up again. Nothing there. Tiara Bolden might have been fouled, and she got hit to the face.
This is exactly what North Carolina wants to see, is some shooting, some connectivity from the outside. And how about Alexi Dinarski, the sniper from outside, able to lock it in. It's good to see her catch some fire here.
Usby picked up her second foul on that last play of Dinarski. She's got a hot hand to start. Why not? Second three in a minute.
All it takes is to see one go in. And then also Maria Gakdeng, we got to talk about everything that she's done so far, because that was the steal that she got.
And the timeout will be called for Scott Ruick, who does not like the start that he's seen from his Beavers.
Dinarski is catching some fire, some heat. You said it, 2 3-pointers in a minute. All you had to do was see one in, and then the other one drops, and the bench loving it.
Lexi Dinarski getting hot in the second half. She's shooting 40% from 3 on the season, and amongst some incredible names as far as active leaders.
Incredible indeed, and we all know you guys are tuned in all year to the ACC, so you know Iona Keneally, outstanding from 3. Georgia Amore, just a bunch of great names. Jewel Spear. You talk about the company that Lexi Dinarski is in, but her ability to be able to stretch the floor, add that 3-point dimension to their offense has been invaluable all season long.
So the run by North Carolina to start the second half, a 6-0 run, led to a timeout for Oregon State, who couldn't connect on the first attempt, but a nice track down by Kelsey Reese. Kennedy Schuler had an impressive first half, begging for the ball, going against Maria. Cross court with 3 seconds, and that might have been deflected indeed by Renaya Kelly. Alyssa Usby found herself open and then closed as Reese closed out. 10 on the shot clock for the Tar Heels. The spin around and nothing there. The battle by the front court. Kelsey Reese and Maria Gakdeng have been battling in this ball game. Beavers looking for their first points of the second half. And a foul by Renaya Kelly. That's going to be her first.
Murad hit a couple of those outside, so Renaya Kelly was just anxious and eager to get out there to the 3-point line, just a little too out of control.
'11th turnover for Oregon State, and it just seems like they're trying to get into a rhythm. What is it going to take?
Yeah, I mean, they got to continue to have that patience, get that inside-out ball movement. I love Schuler and her attack to get it moving inside out.
Like that?
Exactly like that.
This is the biggest lead for North Carolina. All because Lexi Dinarski chose violence in the second half. And another punch. It's been the Lexi Show here in Chapel Hill.
It has been the Lexi Show indeed. Feeling it, lighting it up from 3, stretching that floor, but does it defensively as well. She gets the steal to the bucket and count it.
She has 11 points in the second half, but to be a little bit more precise, she has 11 points in 4 minutes. Whew. Tar Heels on an 11-0 run. Oregon State still looking for their first points of this quarter. Doing so with the short shot clock. Reese off the bounce, trying to go at Maria, which will give Maria Gotting her 3rd foul.
That's a tough one, too. Drawing her foul. I'm telling you, you got to keep attacking Maria Gotting. If I'm Oregon State, continue to attack her and get her in foul trouble, because she's really been a key centerpiece on both ends of the floor for North Carolina, and they need her to stay out on the floor.
So they switched the foul. It's actually on India Navarre, and that's a good thing against.
Really,
absolutely. So they got India on the backside with the push, but that is unfortunately her 3rd. So here's Kelsey Reese. Connects on the second, shooting 83% on the free throw line this season. Has a beautiful soft touch at the free throw line. But on the other side, commits the foul, just Reese's first.
And Reese knew that one was there. I mean, just trying to give a little effort, extra push, literally, defensively. But those two have been battling in the paint.
Lexi freed up again, is unconscious. And the bench needs some resuscitation. Lexi Donarski has scored all of their points in this quarter. And here comes Renaya, finds India, lane cleared and couldn't connect as that's brought to a close. Big rebound for AJ Marat. Lexi Donarski with 14 points, and Oregon State now with 4 points as Reese stretches the floor for the triple.
How about Reese showing her skill set beyond the arc, knocking it down from 3. Have to continue to chip at it, play some defense here, get some scores.
Up and under. As Maria now in double figures.
That's the footwork and finishing on the left side that we were talking about, where she's worked and completely elevated her game.
So Maria, with 9, 4 for 6 from the field. Gets it again. She's got 11.
Maria Gotting is working. She is running the floor. She is stealing. She is demanding for the ball.
Attempt by Renaya Kelly, but they will slow things down up top. Less than 5 minutes in this 3rd quarter that has been all Tar Heels. Kennedy was looking for help. So a foul is going to be called against the Tar Heels, but not before the break. And did so because she has gone 4 for 4 from 3 in this quarter alone, but it's how they're doing it together. They are outscoring Oregon State 18-4 here in the 3rd.
And that's what you said, doing it together, attacking the basket, kicking, dynamic in their attack, getting inside and out, different players touching the ball. Donarski, though, catching that heat.
So Alyssa Usby with 3 fouls, India Navarre with 3 fouls as well. The last one sending Kennedy Schuler to the free throw line. She currently has 7 and adds to it. Quick skip pass. Alyssa Usby, 3 for 9 from the field, found Maria and gets fouled in the process.
And I love they're continuing to just look inside to Maria Gakdeng, let her work out.
So Kelsey Reese picks up her second foul as Maria Gakdeng will step up to the free throw line for the second time today. And for the 5th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. It's been a busy day and weekend in the Triangle. We talked about all the different sites. As that one flies out of bounds, and North Carolina has thrown a lot of different defensive looks at Oregon State. They're just trying to figure out how to break it.
Exactly. The reason why North Carolina has been successful all season long, even ACC play, as they led with their field goal percentage defense.
Maria wanted the contact, but that was a great block by Sela Heidi. Reese off the bounce, the up and under against Alyssa Usby, gets her own rebound, kisses it off the glass. Reese now in double figures. Maria gets the ball back and tried to track it down after being tipped. Lexi again!
Telling you, they're sitting in that zone, trying to take away the paint looks, but you gotta look out for Lexi Donarski. Lights out.
Starting to think she had the special stuff at halftime. Lexi Donarski is unconscious. "17 points in a quarter. That is a season high for her, as Renaya Kelly couldn't get that one to fall from outside. You've also seen North Carolina play, we talked about the different looks, but on 4 different occasions, we've seen them drop back into a zone as well.
Which I like, they're really mixing things up, which really has disrupted, as you see now, the offense of Oregon State.
Navarre in on the action. What a quarter, 23-7 advantage. Courtney Banghart trying to get everybody on their feet as they're approaching the 2-minute mark. Biggest lead for the Tar Heels. Schuler looking for a response, finds Reese. Navarre back to back, of course. This has ballooned for North Carolina in the third. Navarre got hit in the face, trying to see if she could jump into the passing lane, still on the floor.
Yeah, just great hustle there. Navarre got a hand on it, but got hit right there in the face by Schuler as she was trying to get the steal.
Tough as nails.
Tough as nails. Looks fine going to the bench. Get her a little sip of water, maybe get checked out just to make sure she's okay.
Lainey Grant, Grace Townsend in the ball game for the Tar Heels. Bronca Thomas also on the inside, and a shot clock violation for Oregon State. And they're just wanting to get out of the quarter.
Yeah, I mean, the defense from North Carolina has been stifling. Just in that possession alone, Lexi Donarski, that one-on-one pressure, gave a lot of pressure, forced that violation.
15 turnovers for Oregon State. Lexi looks to the bench and said, "Oh, my bad."
Yeah, my bad. Got a little too happy there.
When you hit 5 in a quarter, you get a freebie.
Yeah, you can be all smiles on an air ball after you hit 5 in a quarter.
Less than a minute here in the third. The turnaround by Heidi off the mark. goes out of bounds. It will stay on this side.
Oregon State basketball. Coming in for North Carolina, number 3.
A couple more substitutions. Trayana and Jordan, as Lexi Donarski gets a round of applause, standing ovation after her third quarter performance. 8 on the shot clock for Oregon State. Schuler going at Townsend, blocked. It was recovered by Heidi, and she got fouled on the putback. So Triana Crisp picks up her first as Heidi steps to the free throw line. Quick substitution. So Sela Heidi has one more on the way. 24.6 on the game clock. Oregon State has been blitzed in this third quarter. If there's anyone that knows and has the master of adjustments, it's Scott Ruick. They'll hold for the last shot of the quarter. Seven left. Grant. Raining threes here in Chapel Hill. What a way to cap off the third quarter. It was just that. The three ball worked and went in favor for the Tar Heels as they outscored out Oregon State 30-9 in that frame.
I mean, it has been the three ball that's gained the momentum for North Carolina in this third quarter. Donarski with her fifth three in that quarter alone.
As Courtney Banghart has done a phenomenal job in her tenure here in her sixth season. But overall, the history of this program is renowned. 32 appearances, the fifth straight. You can see the record. And they're hosting for the first time since 2015. And yes, they have a banner in their rafters in '94, the champs.
So much history. I mean, we talked about all the history that went down here in Carmichael Arena, but I mean, how about it not having hosted since 2015? I mean, that was my freshman year in college. So for me, that just feels like forever ago. But just to be able to be back here at home, the crowd, the fans that are packing up the stands right now.
They went 33-2 in '94. That's wild. Another look at it as Crisp has it on the wing. Quick crossover, one-handed take. One at the end one, but that'll do. Off the glass, that's a good one. Katarina Fejeda. First look we're seeing from her from the field. Just 0 for 4 before that take. They can get a lot of help offensively in this last quarter. Townsend has 3 to work with. A gentle reminder that North Carolina lost 3 of their last 5 games. They lost to NC State in the ACC tournament in the semis as well, trying to find their footing. They did have, as the 3-ball goes down in the corner for Tierra Bolden. But this was a team trying to find their footing. They had a little bit of a spell without Alyssa Usby, who had an injury a couple of games before the ACC tournament.
They were held to just 5 points in the first quarter in that game in the ACC against NC State. So as you said, just really struggling to find their rhythm, especially on the offensive end.
There'll be a hockey substitution for North Carolina at the next dead ball. Corner 3 for Bolden again, just short. Tejeda. Now we've seen 2 field goals from her. You can see her looking at the scoreboard. She's like, we gotta go. Down 18. They were down as many as 25. Lainey Grant pulls back.
There's definitely got to be a sense of urgency here, but it definitely starts on the defensive end and not letting North Carolina get up threes.
And a lot of contact for Grace Townsend, so she'll be called for the foul, her first, as we get 4 new looks for the Tar Heels. So they looked at the shot clock. I think Mai Forsberg looks at the table and says, we're good on timing, as Schuler has it with 17 on the shot clock. AJ Marat, who had a breakout first quarter, has gone cold.
But I love the effort on the glass from Oregon State. They look like they're going to give everything that they've got to try and make this comeback.
And another miss. All of her points came in the first half. Poke from behind. Good deflection for Heidi. 2-on-1 opportunity. Bolden dishes it off. Back iron. Renee Kelly pulls up and nothing there. Left alone and still couldn't connect. It has been a struggle outside for Oregon State. Just 3 for 20 outside, and North Carolina continues to pile it on.
They completely lost Usby there, running downhill in the paint.
Alyssa Usby with 8 points and 8 rebounds. That means that zone, she needs just 1 more for the record. India Navarre, there it is. And the 2 points to add to it.
You see the sign there. Her family members holding up signs as they're cheering.
And Courtney Banghart with a smile on her face, saying that's it. Deserved and earned. The double-double queen herself, just 1 more rebound away from another one on the season. India Navarre gets called with the foul. That's going to be her 4th. You can see the relief for AJ Marat. The baseline jumper good. Lexi, another touch pass. Yeah, that's going to be on the highlight reel. Thomas with her first points of the day off a beautiful touch pass from Alyssa Usby. Six on the shot clock for the Beavers. Heidi pulls it and drains it. That's the most impressive thing about the bigs for Oregon State. Their touch, their feel, you almost want to see more of it because of the height difference.
Exactly, that's the advantage you could take with bigs like that, having that touch around the rim. But how about Navarre in the game that she's been having, just being disruptive on both ends?
6 points for India Navarre. The double team comes in, but Renaya Kelly picks it off. Navarre over the rim, now with 8. That sails out of bounds as we have a couple of more substitutions for the Tar Heels. Under 4 minutes to go, and they are feeling it here at Carmichael Arena.
It has been Alyssa Usby, the player that we've talked about, the double-double machine, and this is the record-breaking rebound here, and the crowd loves it.
So we're here back at Chapel Hill with North Carolina, a big 68-44. Couple of substitutions for the Tar Heels. One good feel-good story is Sydney Barker, number 15, the sophomore from Durham, North Carolina, bringing the ball up the floor, and that's why you hear the cheers. A former walk-on, put on scholarship last February. Pulls up, blocked though by Kennedy Schuler. When she comes in the ball game, she's looking for a 3, so I'm very confused on why she chose to put it off the deck.
But I love just the love that the crowd, the fans have for her. Coach talked about her, and you could just see the love there as well.
She'll have a couple of more substitutions. 10 on the shot clock. Layla Hall, how about the defense on the baseline? And another one at the rim. Sierra Toomey with the deflection. So a foul, an offensive foul. I think someone was trying to free up Lexi Donarski in the corner. So the starters now on the bench for the Tar Heels as they're approaching the 2-minute mark and have a sizable lead over Oregon State. For a 14 seed for the first time, but still reining it in as Kelsey Reese with 13 now drains the triple. Response tray in and out. Reese wanted another one, puts it off the deck instead. Turns around on Toomey and connects. The upsides for her as a professional, I really feel like she has everything in her bag to be that.
Absolutely, the touch around the rim, the ability to stretch out the floor, the length especially.
So Oregon State has 1 minute and 7 seconds left on the game clock. A missed attempt by A.J. Marat. And North Carolina, Sydney Barker pulls up and gets it. The icing on the cake for the Tar Heel faithful.
I mean, how about it to see a player, former walk-on, someone that everyone's rooting for, able to get it, as you said, expecting it from 3.
But I tell you what, I don't think this is going to be the last time we see this Oregon State team. 5 seniors on this roster. Tiara Bolden, AJ Marat, Katarina Fejeda, Sela Heidi, and Kelsey Reese, who we've been seeing that is not giving up in this fourth quarter. But it's the tone that you want to set. Like, if you're going to play and compete here under the legendary Scott Rueck, you play hard every possession.
Play hard every possession, put it all out there on the floor, and that's what we've gotten from Oregon State. Talk about the seniors, the ceiling high for them and their time after this.
Won the West Coast Conference tournament in the inaugural season. The run to the end with 2 buzzer beaters, and to beat the reigning champs in Portland. It was a storybook season for this group that really struggled at the beginning. It comes to an end while the Tar Heels continue.
They definitely got to give themselves a pat on the back for the fight that they've brought. But I mean, the Tar Heels, Lexi Donarski, with the way she was able to light up the defense, Bria Gokdang in the paint. I mean, I can go all around for just the balance on both ends of the floor. This team has just been absolutely impressive.